Hey guys, Staff Sergeant Pooch here. Wanted to take a few seconds of your time and talk about Duracoating firearms. I've recently seen a few videos on YouTube about Duracoating or painting or camouflaging your rifles. Recently I also saw TheHossUSMC Duracoated one of his lowers, and I wanted to share with you some of the rifles and pistols that I recently Duracoated. I wanted to get your thoughts and feedback on some of the camouflage patterns and also to solicit from you any camouflage patterns or thoughts that you have on whether it's regular Krylon paint or Duracoat, Cerakote, color schemes, patterns, and that sort of thing. So why don't we take a quick couple minutes and take a look at some of the things that I've done. I'll go through it and share with you exactly what I've done and some of the paints that I've used, and we'll just go from there. Alright gents, this is take like 50. First up to bat here is my Patriot Ordnance Firearms 308, and what I chose to do with it was take the Duracoat Tactical flat colors. I used dark earth, I used a dark brown, I used a desert sand, and I just kind of experimented a little bit with mixing some of the colors. But I did this kind of pattern primarily because here in California, where I shoot a lot of the dry grass, it's not so much a desert, but it is certainly dry fields and that sort of thing. What I did was I took all these components apart, I degreased them, and because of the coating that was on it previously, I didn't feel the need to do any sanding, but I did clean and degrease all of the parts. And what I did was I started with a base coat of the lightest color, and then from there I actually went to Harbor Freight and purchased one of their very inexpensive airbrushes and just started mixing in and got darker. One of the things I did towards the end, here would be a good demonstration where I did all the colors. I went from light to dark, and then I used another light color to kind of go over some of the darker parts just to give it some depth. And this is a Burris AR-536 and the Burris Fastfire 3. What I did with these is basically take them apart and Duracoated them as well. What's important to note is I did paint every single piece on the rifle that I thought would be important. One of the things that I just recently put on was this quick detached swivel part here. I don't even remember what it's called now, but essentially what I did is I took everything apart, I cleaned and degreased it, and then I used the Duracoat, mixing the colors and put them together. Alright, so next up we have my Springfield Armory XD45. It's the 5-inch tactical model. You can see that I actually painted it the same color palette and pattern as the AR-10. What I did was I laid a base coat down on the parts. I took the pistol apart, with the exception I didn't pull off the sights. I taped those up, but everything else I pretty much took apart. I did leave the magazine release in the pistol though. But what I did was I painted the entire pistol the lightest color, and then from there I started to go a little bit darker and tried to match up to the AR rifle. I also painted the magazine for the pistol. As you guys probably are aware, the Springfield Armory magazines are a stainless steel with a black end plate. What I did was I used an 800 grit sandpaper and sanded down the stainless steel, and then began to paint. Excuse me. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. I don't think you really have to paint the entire magazine because it's going to be either in the pistol or in a mag pouch. But nonetheless, my OCD kicked in And I went ahead and painted it as well, so you can kind of see that it would match the pistol. Alright gents, next up we have the Gen 3 Glock 22. Basically I took the Marine Corps pattern and used that as my inspiration for painting this. The entire pistol came the black, and what I did was I took it completely apart. If you can see here, the pins are still black. I took those off. The sights, I actually, they were stock sights. I took those off. I knew I was going to replace them with the excess big dot sights. So what I did was took the pistol apart, and I started with the upper using the lightest color as the base coat. And then what I did was I took the blue painter's tape and I cut out little digital type patterns. And after I put that first base coat down, I just taped the patterns around the pistol and then went over the entire upper with that next color. I'd leave the tape on. I'd take more tape, cut out a couple patterns, put that on in different places, and then I would paint the next color, darker color, on top of that. And I would repeat that process throughout the steps. And if you can tell, there are 4 different color, I'm going to say brown tones. There's a very light color, there's more of a dark earth color, there's a dark brown, and then there's a medium brown. So I used 4 different colors. For the lower receiver, again, completely stripped the pistol down. I did leave the magazine release in there. I have a habit of doing that. And I just painted the entire pistol lower, the flat dark earth. What I did was, as I took the pistol apart, I did take apart the trigger, and I taped off the majority of the innards that I didn't want to paint, and then just painted it. And hopefully you guys can see that there is a very close resemblance to the actual Marpat pattern. Alright guys, next up we have the Springfield Armory Micro Compact 45. What I did here was, took the upper slide assembly off. I taped off the front and rear sight. I didn't want to mess around with that. It's dead on and I don't want to change that. I took the firing pin and the ejector out and taped everything else off that I didn't want to be painted. And then I laid down the base coat of just the lightest color that I use, which I want to say is the flat dark earth. I used the black, the olive drab, and dark brown, and just started to mix in the colors. What I liked about using the airbrush, which was like 25 bucks at Harbor Freight, is you can really get into the small areas, and you can make your spray pattern as wide or as narrow as you'd like. And I figured I would take the old woodland pattern and the ATAX pattern and kind of blend it in my mind, and that's how I came up with this pattern. Alright, last up, one of the things I wanted to share, after painting this rifle, these pistols, and a few other rifles, the only issue that I've noticed with the Duracoat, you can see here around the muzzle. And, I don't know if it had the paint come off as a result of carbon coming out or the flames, but you can see here around the front, some of the Duracoat actually came off. Now I want to caveat painting your rifle with this, or your pistol, or any of your gear, with one thought, and that is that as you use these tools, they will get a little dinged up, they will get a little dirty, they will get a little scratched, and you really can't be so tied to them that they have to be in pristine condition. I myself have no intention of ever getting rid of the rifles or pistols. If I did and somebody didn't want to purchase it because of something like this, then they probably don't rate the purchase in the first place. The other thing I wanted to share is this is a very small piece of what's called sniper netting. This is made by Voodoo Tactical. You don't have to use this, but one of the things that you can do with your rifle, pistol, I don't think so, is take your netting. You can use your wife, fiancés, girlfriends, or significant others' bungee cord, hairband, to use to secure it to your rifle. And obviously, you know, you can leave that open or you could shoot right through it. And then what you'd want to do is take foliage from the local surrounding area and put it in there and break up the outline of your firearm. If you don't have that, you can use 550 cord. Comes in all different colors and camouflages: red, blue, green, white, purple, whatever. But really, if you wanted to secure it, you could put it on there, stuff your foliage in, and one of the nice things about it is it will help break up the outline of your weapon. So if you're posted up someplace and you want to camouflage, it would be nice to make sure that you break up the outline and the silhouette of the firearm using the vegetation in the immediate area. So that's about it. Let's go ahead and jump to a closing. Alright, gents, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Just a very short video on Duracoating rifles, pistols, and that sort of thing. What I'd really like to solicit from you are your thoughts on the patterns that I shared with you. I'd love to see video responses from any of you guys that have done it to yours. Whether you're using Duracoat, Cerakote, or Krylon rattle can, doesn't matter. Again, understanding that these are some durable coatings, but they're not impenetrable and they can scratch and wear. But if you pay attention to the directions, I think you'll be happy with the end product that comes out. A lot of these firearms I've used. I actually have used all of them. And again, the only issue that I saw was on the muzzle of the rifle that I shared with you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to seeing some video responses. Put your comments and thoughts down below, and hope to see you again. Thanks for your time, and take care.